Caddis Maximus here, this time with a review of the Milwaukee hole dozer and hole saws. These came out a few years ago, I think about 5 years ago. And they're just Milwaukee's new Sawzall blade with the extra thick or extra wide teeth put into a hole saw. This 1¼ inch is $10 to $12, so they're pretty expensive. I do like that it has a solid steel back. I like some of the new stuff, like they are stamping both the back and the side of the hole saw. And so, one thing I was going to comment on is the weld seam is a little bit rough. It's just fine for a hole saw, but that's one of the things you can tell about the real true quality. If we take a look at like the DeWalt's a little smoother, but about as rough. Here's a Lennox, about the same thing. The weld seam is okay, but not actually. The Lennox is probably the worst out of all these. It has a really big indentation there. Once again, here's the hole dozer, and then if we take a look at, say, the older Milwaukee Reds, they used to sand the weld seam. So these are the old American made, and these are the new American made, and that's what they're advertising, made in America with global materials, and they have this rip guard tooth break warranty. I'm just not even entirely sure about that warranty. It just kind of seems gimmicky. They're not going to replace this hole saw when it gets dull. And so a tooth break warranty, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to even sacrifice this, $10 hole saw for a $2 video, but it will be kind of interesting to see how it does with something like a deck screw. Because I also don't think that they'll warranty it if you actually do legitimately hit nails, drywall screws, deck screws, and bust one of the teeth off. Most times you won't have too much trouble. I am going to do the demo, and this is a 1¼ inch. We'll do it at 600 RPM. Now, if we take a look at some other hole saws, which actually have some pretty nice weld seams. So this is one of the details that you can get into. Here's a Bosch. Where is the darn seam? It's actually pretty darn hard to find on the Bosch. So I just wanted to point this out. It's right on the label. You basically can't even tell that the weld seam is there, even on the painted surface. This is the best weld seam I've seen. And I kind of like the Bosch's because they use thin teeth that gives a much larger area for wood chips to build up. The big issue with hole saws is there's no place for the wood chips to go. If you pull them in and out of the hole periodically, you actually get through a lot quicker, and you can drill more holes with your hole saw without burning it up. And here we have like a Starrett, which has a pretty nice weld seam. Starrett hole saws have always been pretty nice. And then we have like a Morse Cobalt here, or carbide tipped. And once again, the Morse has a really smooth weld seam. Other things of note is they do use 4 holes, so that allows it to sink deeper down on the drive collets, or arbors, I should say, versus many hole saws such as the Starrett here or the Bosch, which only have 2 holes, so they tend to be unscrewed just a little bit more or a little bit more wobbly. One comment that I was going to make is we have a Milwaukee 7140 and Milwaukee 7150. These are actually genuine Milwaukee hole saw arbors. We have the 3/8 and the 1/2 inch version, and you can see the difference. There's a lot more thread on the 1/2 inch version than there is on the 3/8. And if you are going to run into nails or something like that, you would want to use a heavier duty arbor. And these are still kind of not so great compared to this old Miller's Falls that I have right here. See, it has a very large and deep arbor that will get full engagement in these big steel backings. And I always kind of wondered about that with Milwaukee's hole saw arbors, is why they didn't take advantage to what is considered the standard 1/2 inch thick base. Quick point being, if we take like the 3/8 drive one, we use it in the Lennox. The Lennox uses a heavy stamped steel backplate that makes them a little bit cheaper, and we can see here that it rides just flush. It's about perfect for this style of hole saw. Here we are magically on the Milwaukee, and we can see that it's just sunk way in. I think that's just a little bit cheesy. So that's also going to be my recommendation, is to get an actual heavy-duty hole saw arbor. These snap ones are convenient to use, but they can end up loosening up over time because they're being driven by this additional cam here. There's just a little bit of extra play versus one of these, which is really nice and sure. There are quite a few knockoffs. I think even Harbor Freight has a arbor that's just like this Miller's Falls. But this is a really nice, heavy-duty, very secure arbor. We can see that it rises all the way through the base. Okay, let's drill a hole with it. Alright, let's get this 3-inch deck screw in there. Be a little bit noisy as we impact this in here. There we go. We're all ready to go here. We're mounted up. We're using a DeWalt DW245. This is a 600 RPM, 7.8 amp, 120 volt drill. One of my very favorite drills. Has 10 rolling bearings. They actually still sell them. You know, a lot of these half-inch drills are getting way too fast and burn up your tools when you actually want one of more modern ones that's in this more classic pistol grip form factor, but this is 600 RPM but with the 7.8 amp motor. So I've got a mark at the tip of the screw, so I'm going to try to offset this hole saw just a bit so I can certainly hit the screw, but I don't want to hit the center drill bit because those are a little bit expensive. I don't like having to replace those. We'll try it just like so. Oh, my plug got stuck here. We'll just ratchet that out with the ratchet hole here. Holy moly, that thing is really stuck. Got to go on both sides. The smaller hole saws only have one window on them, and I can understand why that is. Just because it would make them just a little bit too weak. And yep, this is part of the deal with hole saws, is just having to work this plug out. I do like the Lennox where they have the stepped, because we can see I'm having a little bit of trouble. There we go. Get out of there, for crying out loud. Getting that plug out isn't as quick and easy as I thought it would be. Let's go and finish up our hole here. There's the tip of the screw. We knew we cut it. This was a pretty dry piece of wood, and it's also rough cut, so I was actually drilling through 2 full inches of material. Let's get that screw out, and then we'll go take a close look at it over at the table. And here we have it. Let's take a quick look at the hole that it drilled. Really not too bad. Seems like there's a better finish than a lot of the spade bits or wood augers. Here's our plugs. Not really too bad at all. It does make a nice cut. And indeed it ran true. I really do like these arbors. You got to make sure sometimes these little collars will loosen up on you here. And then I went ahead and over torqued it. You just get a lot more reliability out of these types of arbors. You just have to make sure that you keep the threads oiled and cleaned and that type of stuff. Let's take a close look at the hole saw. Now that's kind of the disappointing thing. Now this wasn't a mild steel, framing nail. This was a deck screw, but I believe these are a little bit softer, but maybe not. Maybe these high-grade deck screws are indeed about as hard as a drywall screw, but we can see it did have no problem cutting through it, just like you would expect with the Sawzall blade. I believe these are 8% cobalt. That's what Milwaukee would always advertise with their blades. Now I'm going to try to just get the right light. If we can get this to focus here. Pretty hard to tell, but there we go. The teeth did not come out super great. We can see here that it's just not there. Now that I figured out how to use the camera better, we can see the shiny parts right at the tips of all the teeth. This hole saw is already that one screw made a huge difference on these teeth. Really dull. They're not dull yet, but I would say that this hole saw going through 5 max 10 of those screws, and the teeth would just be totally rounded over. I'd say 5 screws and the whole saw wouldn't be effectively cutting anymore. And you did notice I should have pulled out even more often, but when you periodically pull it out, you saw all that sawdust that came out of the hole. And doesn't need so much zoom. And certainly got me through the hole faster, and that's because there just isn't very much space at all in those teeth for chips to build up. So this thing was always getting clogged up. You just feel that. It's drilling, and then it just feels like you're running on top of a cushion of powdered wood. And so, you know, to tell you the truth, if you compare it to something like this Bosch, I mean, you're going to be drilling holes faster with this Bosch. And I'm sure these teeth would, you know, last 5 deck screws just the same as these Milwaukees. They may be a little bit more likely to break off, but if you're running at an appropriate speed and not standing on the drill and actually drilling the hole, then I think it would hold up just about as well. And so that's kind of, I think, the deal with these Milwaukees is you buy them specifically for maybe remodelers who know they're going to be hitting lots of nails and screws. But if you drill one hole and you hit, you know, a few nails, I mean, this hole saw can end up costing, you know, lasting 5 holes, and it ends up costing you $2 per hole. And so I don't know how good the returns are. I think they're fine, but I think if you're a contractor making a living that you wouldn't buy these because the extra money that they cost wouldn't give you the return on investment over more holes drilled in tough conditions. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.